ABC 10 News at 5 starts right now.
ABC 10 News at 5 starts now.
What may have seemed impossible just a few months ago is now reality. Today, frontline workers from coast to coast, they are getting their first doses of the COVID-19 vaccine, while San Diego County received its first shipment just hours ago. The vaccine is offering hope in the fight against the pandemic on a day where the U.S. has seen the number of Americans who have died from this disease rise above 300,000 and infected more than 15 million people. By this time tomorrow, Brady Children's Hospital could have its first doses of the Pfizer vaccine. Good evening. I'm Steve Atkinson. Lindsay Pena has the night off. Our ABC 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo joins us live with the hospital's plan for distribution.
Steve, and the hospital is expecting these vaccines within the next 24 hours, most likely sometime tomorrow morning. They will arrive via FedEx and will be transferred into those ultra low temperature freezers. Now, the hospital's COO spoke this afternoon. He says a majority of his staff does want the vaccine, explaining that since it's only been approved for emergency use, it will not be mandated at the moment. The first to get the vaccine at the hospital are healthcare workers in the 1A category, including physicians, respiratory therapists, and nurses. Staff within the same departments will get the vaccine on staggered schedules just in case they do present vaccine side effects. Brady's COO says they are incredibly excited to get these first doses.
We're incredibly proud to be the first part of this and be able to get the community prepared and treated and get them vaccinated. So the fact that we're part of the first group shows our commitment to the community and allows us.
And the staff that does get the first vaccine within the next couple days will get their second dose of the vaccine 21 days later. Reporting live, Laura Acevedo, ABC 10 News.
Laura, thank you. And today, Navy Medical Center San Diego also received its first shipment of the COVID-19 vaccine. Our ABC 10 News anchor Vanessa Van Hefty talked with Navy officials today to find out how the vaccine will be dispersed and who's getting the first round of shots.
In this shipment, the COVID-19 vaccine that received emergency use authorization approval from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. These first vaccines will go to healthcare workers at our two Navy hospitals. Personnel will start getting the shots at Naval Medical Center San Diego on Tuesday. Camp Pendleton will administer its vaccines on Wednesday. The bases are already equipped to handle the special cold storage the vaccines require.
We have several of those freezers, which will more than accommodate the vaccines.
The first doses will be given to frontline healthcare workers and first responders, including emergency medical services personnel and security forces in the military. They are not yet being given to deployed forces. Navy officials say the vaccine will be on a voluntary basis and is at the time not mandatory.
Receipt of the vaccine will purely be on a voluntary basis, similar to what we see for the influenza.
Navy officials would not detail how many doses of the vaccine were received today or how many additional vaccines may be coming in the future. We asked if San Diego was given prioritization from the DoD.
About a dozen United States-based hospitals that met certain criteria are receiving this first wave, if you will, of vaccines. And then once that is complete, the Department of Defense determine the exact rollout going forward.
Navy personnel would not comment about current COVID cases on our San Diego military bases, calling it an operational security issue. Vanessa Van Hefty, ABC 10 News.
And the shipment is part of the DoD allotment of vaccine and is separate from vaccine being shipped directly to the state of California authorities. Governor Gavin Newsom arrived earlier today in Los Angeles as the first round of vaccines were delivered to the state.
Today is hopeful and it's reason to be optimistic, but let's be mindful of where we really are in terms of this pandemic.
5 healthcare workers at the Kaiser Permanente Hospital in Hollywood. They became the first Californians to get inoculated. The first round of nearly 330,000 doses will go to healthcare workers in hospitals and skilled nursing facilities. The governor says he expects the state to receive more than 2 million doses by the end of this month. He also repeated his plea to all Californians, urging them to continue wearing masks and trying to stay at home. Another grim milestone for the U.S. in its fight against the coronavirus. More than 300,000 people have now died in this country from the virus. ABC's Rena Roy is joining us live from New York, where some frontline workers already got their vaccines today. Rena.
Well, Steve, as the coronavirus rages across the country, there is finally a sign of hope, and healthcare workers here, they couldn't be happier or more relieved. As they roll up their sleeves and get that shot. For the first time since the pandemic began 9 months ago, healthcare workers are feeling a profound sense of hope.
We've been through so much that this was the first step towards hope, towards getting to a place where we do not have to worry about ourselves, about our loved ones, about our families.
An especially emotional moment for this doctor in New York. He was one of the first in the U.S. to be vaccinated today after experiencing loss himself. His uncle died from the virus, and another in his family is currently hospitalized.
I saw a lot of devastation. I saw it personally in my family. This is a major turn, the most significant turn during this pandemic.
Relief and excitement coast to coast in this pivotal moment marking the beginning of the end of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Let's knock this thing out. We've been waiting 9 months and a couple weeks for this.
2.9 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine, which is believed to be 95% effective, are making their way to every corner of the U.S. in ultra-cold freezers on planes and in trucks via FedEx and UPS, after the FDA authorized the vaccine for emergency use.
Any delivery more memorable than this one?
No. I know it's a humbling experience to be a part of this because it's going to save a lot of lives.
This after 300,000 Americans have already died, with officials warning the next 2 to 3 months could be some of the hardest yet when it comes to lives lost. Despite the progress in vaccinations, those on the front lines are urging Americans not to let their guard down.
There's light at the end of the tunnel, but we still need to continue to wear our masks, to social distance.
Now, along with healthcare workers, seniors and first responders will also get first priority when it comes to vaccinations. Steve?
And Rena, we understand it looks like we may have some more good news on the vaccine front here in the coming weeks. What can you tell us about that?
Well, Steve, that's absolutely right. Moderna is actually hoping to get the same emergency use authorization that Pfizer has, of course, gotten. And in fact, the FDA is holding a hearing this Thursday on the Moderna vaccine. So it is possible that we could see that vaccine being rolled out within weeks or possibly even days if it also gets that same green light from the FDA. Steve?
Can't come soon enough. Rena Roy from New York reporting for us. Thank you. And you can follow any developments surrounding the pandemic by downloading our free mobile app. Just go to the App Store and search 10 News. Tonight, a search is underway for the driver who dragged an El Cajon police officer during a traffic stop. This happened around 8:30 this morning. Our ABC 10 News reporter Leah Pizzetti just spoke to a witness who rushed to help the officer. Leah.
Right, Stephen, we actually did just get updated information on the suspect in this situation. I want to try to show you. Forgive me, this is messy. We literally just got the photo of the suspect. So this is what he looks like. El Cajon police say that David Francis Cepeda Pangilinan, date of birth July 28th, 1979. He's a Guamanian male, 5'6", 200 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. That is who they are looking for this evening. I want to show you video of what happened out here earlier today. So it happened in El Cajon on Washington Avenue earlier today. The scene is now clear, but all day police have been out here investigating what happened. They say it started when officers stopped to check on a car that was parked along the side of the road, blocking a driveway. It should be noted, you cannot actually stop along that side of the road. So they stopped to talk to the car. A black SUV, it's a rental car, was parked along a driveway with 2 people asleep inside. Police say an officer tried to talk to them. The man first gave a fake ID, the man that we just showed you just moments ago. Then he tried to drive away. The officer tried to stop that driver, ultimately was dragged down the street. The driver of the car, the man we just showed you, left it a few blocks away and ran. So they are now looking for him. That man I just showed you is a suspect who police are actively looking for right now. We actually did speak to a man who says he was doing yard work outside when it happened. A witness, he saw it all unfold this morning.
I heard my son scream and crying, so I turned around and I seen an officer down. So I ran to the officers, but the other policeman came. You know, the guy was out, completely out. You know, blood was coming out of his nose, his mouth, and his head. And his eyes was rolled back in his head. But the other officer came and put his hand on his head, and I started praying for the guy and stuff. So next, we seen him move. We thought he was dead.
Now, the officer, as you just heard, is okay. He's in critical but stable condition right now and tonight. El Cajon police just now putting out that information about the suspect that they are looking for, David Francis Cepeda Pangilinan. Forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. The information right there on your screen. If you know anything about him or his whereabouts, El Cajon police are looking for him this evening. They do believe that he was involved in this crash that dragged an officer down this very busy road behind me, Washington Avenue behind me. I'm going to try to show you his photo one more time. David is the suspect in this case that they are looking for this evening. Please call El Cajon police if you know anything. Reporting live in El Cajon, Leah Pizzetti, ABC 10
Let's
News.
hope someone recognizes that picture and that person. All right, Leah, thank you so much. Turning now to our weather with a mix of sun and clouds. Sun, even some drizzle across San Diego County today. Our meteorologist, Angelica Campos, is tracking those conditions as we move forward in this week. Here's Angelica.
Hi, Steve. That's right. We did have a little bit of drizzle, but Point Loma did the best today with a 1/10 of an inch of rain. Can you believe that? Drizzle turning into accumulations. But as we look at the difference from 24 hours ago, most areas got a cooler weather today, dropping about 4 degrees since yesterday at the same time in Escondido, Poway, and Ramona. About an hour ago, it was closer to 7-8 degrees cooler. So everyone just kind of enjoying that cool weather today. We did have a lot of clouds to start off the day and that touch of drizzle, but at this hour, the skies are starting to open up. The temperatures are cooling down to 36 degrees in Mount Laguna. And as we go into tomorrow, you better believe it, we are going to the opposite direction, back to Santa Ana conditions, drier weather. I will show you what to expect day by day in our 7-day forecast since we have a little bit of everything going on here.
That we do. Angelica, thank you. We'll talk with you later. President-elect Joe Biden is declaring it is time for the U.S. to take the next steps and heal our country.
We, the people, voted. Faith in our institutions held. The integrity of our elections remains intact. And now it's time to turn the page.
Biden spoke from his hometown of Wilmington, Delaware, just moments after the Electoral College made his win over President Trump official. The president-elect hinted at his plans for the early days of his administration. One of his main focuses will be on the coronavirus pandemic. He gave his sympathies to families who have lost loved ones and spoke about rebuilding a battered economy.
My heart goes out to all of you who have fallen in hard times through no fault of your own. Unable to sleep at night, staring at the ceiling, and weighed down by the worry of what tomorrow will bring for you, and equally important for your family. But we've faced difficult times before in our history. I know we'll get through this one, but together.
In the meantime, President Trump continues to make false claims of election fraud. Top White House aide Stephen Miller vowed on Fox today to continue their fight against the election results. Today, early in-person voting is underway in the runoff elections for Georgia's 2 U.S. state Senate seats, that is. The early voting period will run as late as December 31st in some counties. This will determine control of the U.S. Senate. Republicans David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler will face off with Democratic challengers John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock. Early voting could be crucial in these runoff elections. Ballots must be submitted by January 5th, which is in just 3 weeks.